Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 1st. I don't have any April Fool's jokes for you, so everything I'm telling you today is for real. So I do hope you enjoy your day, but try to be kind to your parents on April Fool's Day. Today we're going to look at the vocabulary 6 through 10. That's on page 58 of your spelling book, page 58, and we're looking at the words decoy, which means to lure or entice by deception, kind of like a decoy when you're hunting. Number 7, permissible means allowable. I think we all know that one. Relentless is persistent in harshness or severity. Okay, relentless is just when you will not quit. Tantalize is to keep something desirable visible but out of reach. So tantalize, not really a new word, but maybe the definition might be new for you. And vigil, a watch kept while others are normally sleeping. So we think about people keeping vigil over a community, or like a night watchman for a town or something like that. So those are your 6 words or 5 words for today, number 6 through 10. I would like for you to copy those words and definitions 3 times and put that in your folder or envelope, wherever you're putting all of your work. And please label it vocabulary 6 through 10, list 23. And I'm going to go over some sentences that have those vocabulary definitions in them. Let's see if you can figure out the words. After her death, Jane Austen left an unfinished novel that continues to keep something desirable visible but out of reach for her enthusiasts. So I could replace what word for that definition? That would be tantalize. Tantalize. Satan is persistent in harshness or severity, foe of all Christians. That would be, he is the relentless foe of all Christians. But we know that he's defeated because the Bible tells us that, and we know that the Bible is true. The next one. When the eyes of Elijah's servants were opened, he saw the host of the Lord keeping watch, kept while others are normally sleeping, on the mountains around them. So he was keeping what? Keeping vigil on the mountains around them. We tried to lure or entice by deception the horse into the corral with sugar lumps. We tried to decoy the horse into the corral. And then the last one, it is allowable to stay home from school if you have the flu, and that would be permissible. It's permissible to stay home if you're sick. And please, if you are sick and school resumes, do stay home. That helps all of us stay well. So tonight I want you to copy the 6 vocabulary words and their definitions 3 times. Now, if you'll look at your grammar book on page 232, we're reviewing all the parts of speech. So we have done all the parts of speech. We've gone over that. So let's take a look at these review exercises. So let's look at what the directions say. Now that you've studied the 8 parts of speech, check yourself. Do you fully understand them all? In order to do well in English, you must know the parts of speech and be able to identify them in sentences. This exercise will help you check your knowledge of the parts of speech. Remember, you cannot tell what part of a speech a word is until you determine its use in the sentence. So look at the examples. Rust has overcome the iron fence. In this sentence, iron is an adjective modifying the noun fence. But look at the next sentence. Stainless steel is sometimes used instead of iron. In this sentence, iron's a noun because it names a thing. So just because you see a word, you cannot tell what part of speech it is unless you read the sentence and look at how it functions in the sentence. So let's take a look at exercise A. We're going to do lots of exercises today, all the way through E on the next page. So exercise A, the directions say, fill in the missing words in these definitions of the parts of speech. So we're looking for the one that's a word that modifies an adjective, something else, and something else. So we know it's going to be a modifier. So it's going to modify an adjective, but it's going to modify something else too. So what do you know that modifies 3 different three different things. If you said an adverb, you're correct. So it would be an adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, or what? Another adverb is the correct thing to put in that sentence. Number two, a what is a word that takes the place of a noun. Now think about it. That's an easy one. What takes the place of a noun? A pronoun. So that would be a pronoun. Number three, this is a word that shows how a what or pronoun is related to some other word in the sentence. Okay, think about our definitions. Something and a pronoun and how it's related to some other word. One we really studied just recently. So that would be a preposition. And the rest of that definition would be the preposition is a word that shows how a noun or a pronoun is related to some other word in the sentence. All right, number four. What is a word that modifies a noun or a something else? Okay, so think about it. What modifies a noun? Right, an adjective. So it modifies a noun and a pronoun. Pronoun is correct. All right. So number five, what is a word that shows something, links another word to the subject, and does something for another verb or merely indicates existence? Okay, let's break that down. What links a word to a subject? Think about it. A linking what? A verb. Okay, so a verb is a word that shows, what does it do? Shows what? Action, links another word to the subject, and what's it do for another verb? Think about it. You've got action verbs, you've got linking verbs, and you've got helping verbs. So it helps another verb or merely indicates existence. Well, that's a long sentence and it had a lot of blanks, so let's read it again. Number five, a verb is a word that shows an action, links another word to the subject, helps another verb, or merely indicates existence. All right, number six. This is a word that is not related to any other words in the sentence. We just studied that. Not related to any other words in the sentence. What would that be? An interjection. An interjection, remember? Number seven. This is a word that names a person, something, thing, or something else. That's the easiest one we know. That would be what? A noun. And it names a person, what else? A place, a thing, or an idea. Good. All right, and then the last one. This is a word that joins words, something or something. Joins words. It would be what? A conjunction. And what does a conjunction join? It joins words, phrases, and clauses. Words, phrases, and clauses. So here we have the review of all the types of words that we have studied. So let's look now at exercise B. Exercise B says identify the italicized words as a noun, a pronoun, or an adjective. Okay, so if it's a noun, we know it's the name of a person, place, or thing. If it's a pronoun, it's taking the place of a noun. And if it's an adjective, it's going to be describing what? A noun or a pronoun. So those are the three things we're looking for here. All right, look at number one. Have you ever read that book by Jane Austen? That. What is that doing in the sentence? It's describing book. Which one? That one. So that makes it an adjective. That's right. All right, number two. That was not the correct answer, Natalie. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. That was not the correct answer. So what is it here? Well, first find your verb. What's your verb? Was. Okay. So what was? That was. It's the subject, but it's not a noun. So what is it? It's a pronoun. That is a pronoun. All right. I want you to do number 3 through 8 by yourself. Look at the italicized word, and I want you to write whether it's a noun, a pronoun, or an adjective on the line. Pause this video, and when you finish, start it back up and we'll go over the answers. Remember, practicing is helping you. Don't just wait and listen to me tell you the answers. Actually do the work and then pause it. Don't make me call names. All finished? All right, let's look at the next one. Number 3, the unsaved are blind to the goodness of God. The unsaved are blind to the goodness of God. So blind, what's that doing? Is that a noun? Is it a pronoun? Or is it describing something? Okay, well, we know the verb is what? Are. Unsaved are. And what's it doing? It's describing the unsaved. So it's an adjective there. All right, number 4. Wooden blinds covered the windows and kept the room dark. Your verb is covered. What covered? Blinds. So that's a noun. Blinds. What kind of blinds were they? Wooden. So this is blinds is going to be a noun. Number 5. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone in 1876. Telephone. Name of a person, place, or thing. So it's going to be a noun. Number 6. The telephone cable broke during the thunderstorm. Okay, in this sentence, telephone is not the subject of the sentence. It's describing the cable, so that makes it an adjective. Adjective. Number 7, mother refinished a table which belonged to her grandmother. All right, where's your verb? Refinished. What's your subject? Mother refinished what? Table. That's a direct object, so that makes it a noun. Good. All right, and the number 8, the table leg wobbled when we sat down to eat. The table leg. What kind of leg is it? A table leg. So table in that sentence is an adjective. All right, turn to the next page, page 233. And we're going to look at identifying these italicized words as an adjective or an adverb. So stop and think. What does an adjective modify? It modifies a noun or a pronoun. So if it's describing a noun or a pronoun, it's going to be an adjective. But if it's describing, what does an adverb describe? A verb, an adjective, and another adverb. So if it's describing a verb, an adjective, or another adverb, it's going to be an adverb. All right, so let's look. Yesterday, Lexi and I went to visit our grandmother in the hospital. So your italicized word is yesterday. That tells when Lexi and I went. So it's describing went, which is a verb. So that makes this a adverb. Correct. All right, number 2. Elizabeth Kinney, an Australian nurse, discovered the treatment for polio. An Australian nurse. Okay, that's describing that word nurse. So Australian has to be an adjective because nurse is a noun. Okay. Number 3, Edward Jenner's discovery of the smallpox vaccine helped stop the horrific disease. Horrific. What's it describing? Disease, which is a noun. So this makes horrific an adjective. All right, I want you to do numbers 4, 5, 6, and 7. Do those and pause this tape or video. And then when you finish, start it again. We'll go over the answers. Remember, practicing is important for you. So do the practice. All right, let's take a look at numbers 4. Penicillin is a widely used antibiotic that was discovered by accident, right? Widely is italicized. Widely is describing what? Used. And used describes antibiotic. Okay, so this one is describing an adjective. So what describes an adjective? That would be an adverb. Okay. All right, look at number 5. Scientists John Snow and Louis Pasteur are generally considered the founders of germ theory. Okay, we've got generally. Generally. Generally describes what? Considered. Considered. Are considered is your verb. So it's telling to what extent is it considered. That's modifying the verb, so that's going to be an adverb. Right, right. All right, number 6. Modern medicine is making advancements in cancer research. Cancer. What's cancer describing? Research, which is a noun. And so if it's describing a noun, it's an adjective. Good. All right, number 7. Clara Barton worked to relieve the terrible battlefield conditions for the wounded. Battlefield is describing what? Conditions. Conditions. So battlefield is an adjective. Adjective. Okay. All right, very quickly, I'm going to go over those answers again. Number 1 is an adverb. 2 is an adjective. 3 is an adjective. 4 is an adverb. 5 is an adverb. 6 is an adjective. And 7 is an adjective. All right, let's look at exercise D. Exercise D says, identify the italicized words as a preposition or an adverb. Okay, preposition, remember those are those words that begin prepositional phrases, and those are those words. We had a whole list of them a couple of pages back. A lot of them are position words: down the street, around the corner, in the house, over the hill. A lot of them are position words, and then sometimes we have those compound ones, as if, and so on. So let's look at exercise D. We turned off the interstate highway onto a winding country road. We turned off the interstate highway. That's a prepositional phrase. So what would off be? Yes, it would be a preposition. All right, let's look at the next one. Mom dropped me off on her way to work. Mom dropped me off. Where were you dropped? Off. And so that would be an adverb, an adverb. Number 3, Mom invited the guests to come inside the house. Inside the house. So inside is the beginning of a prepositional phrase, so that's a preposition. All right, I want you to do 4, 5, 6, and 7. Pause this video and then come back and we'll answer it. So pause it now, really pause it, y'all, and do those 4. You finished? All right, let's look at number 4. We went inside during the thunderstorm. We went where? Inside. Inside tells where we went, so that's an adverb. Number 5, you will find the boxes of Christmas decorations stored by the steps in the basement. By the steps is a prepositional phrase, so by is a preposition there. Number 6, the store is close by. The store is close by. Okay, it's telling to what extent is it close by. That would be an adverb. Number 7, after church, our family went out. Out. After church, our family went out. Where did they go, or where did they went? They went where? Out. So that's an adverb. All right. So let's look at exercise D again. Check your answers. Number 1 is a preposition. 2 is an adverb. 3 is a preposition. 4 is an adverb. 5 is a preposition. 6 is an adverb. 7 is an adverb. Now, y'all, if you're having any trouble with these parts of speech, look back at the back of your book in the blue pages. There's the handbook in the back of your book, the blue pages. And this handbook has every single part of speech in here. It goes over everything that we've studied: the sentence, the verbs, prepositions, nouns, adverbs, adjectives. So if you're having difficulty with any of those, go back to those blue pages and look at what they say. Go back and study it, that part that you're having difficulty with, because your answers are right there. All right, look at exercise E. Now this one says, identify each word in the sentence as a noun, a pronoun, an adjective, a verb, a preposition, a conjunction, or an interjection. All 8 parts of speech. So what you're doing here is you're looking for what part of speech every word is, okay? So let's look at number 1. Arlington National Cemetery is located in Arlington, Virginia, across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C. Okay, so your first one is Arlington National Cemetery. That's going to be a noun. That's a proper noun, okay? And then you've got is located. Is located is your verb. The next, in, is going to be a preposition. Arlington, Virginia is another proper noun. Across is a preposition. The is an adjective. Potomac River is a noun. From is a preposition. And Washington, D.C. is another proper noun. So I want you to do the same thing. You're going to look at every word in the sentence, and I want you to write the part of speech that every word in the sentence is. So what are you going to do first? Look for your verbs, look for your subjects, find your nouns, your pronouns. Those will help you out first. So let's look at number 2. We're going to do one more together. The cemetery is the final resting place for thousands of our nation's honored dead. The cemetery. The tells you which one, so that's an adjective. Cemetery is a noun. Is a verb. The is an adjective. Final is an adjective. Resting is an adjective. And they all describe place. Place is a noun. For is a preposition. Thousands is a noun. Of is a preposition. Our is an adjective. It describes nation. Nations is an adjective. Honored is an adjective. And dead is a noun. I'm sorry, our does not describe nations. It describes dead. So I did tell you that wrong. All right, I want you to do numbers 3 through 7, and this is going to take you a little while. So pause the video, and when you finish, I'll go over every single one for you. I'll go over every answer. So hit the pause button, really hit the pause button, and see what you can do on your own. See what you can practice. All right, let's look at number 3. Arlington House and grounds once belonged to Robert E. Lee and his wife, Mary Curtis Lee, who had inherited the land from her great-grandmother, Martha Washington. Arlington House is a noun, and is a conjunction, grounds is a noun, once is an adverb, belonged is a verb, to is a preposition, Robert E. Lee is a noun, and is a conjunction, his is an adjective, wife is a noun, Mary Curtis Lee is a noun, who is a pronoun, had inherited is the verb, the is an adjective, land is a noun, from is a preposition, her is an adjective, great-grandmother is a noun, Martha Washington is a noun. All right, number 4. Union troops captured Arlington House during the Civil War. Union is an adjective, troops is a noun, captured is a verb, Arlington House is a noun, during is a preposition, the an adjective, and Civil War is a noun. Number 5. Private William Henry Chrisman was the first soldier to be buried there. Private William Henry Chrisman is a noun. That's all a proper noun there. Was is your verb. The is an adjective. First is an adjective. Soldier is a noun. To be buried is an adjective there. All right, let me look at this. Was the first soldier to be buried there. All right, that just, I'm not agreeing with that. So let me take a look at this. Private William Henry Chrisman was the first soldier to be buried. Okay, that's going to be a prepositional phrase. And so I'm going to say that's a prepositional phrase, and to be buried where? There. Okay. Look at number 6. The Tomb of the Unknowns, which has been continually guarded by soldiers of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, is located high on a hill overlooking the Capitol. The is an adjective, tomb is a noun, and of is a preposition, unknowns is a noun. Which is a pronoun, verb has been, continually is an adverb, guarded is a verb, by is a preposition, soldiers is a noun, and of is a preposition. The third adjective, U.S. Infantry Regiment, is a noun. Is the verb, is located is the verb, high is an adverb, on a hill, on is a preposition, a is an adjective, and hill is a noun. An adjective, overlooking is an adjective, the is an adjective, and capital is a noun. And the last one, shh, that's an interjection because it doesn't have anything to do with any of the rest of the sentence. All right, verb is speak, or speak is a verb, quietly is an adverb, and is a conjunction, behave is a verb, respectfully is an adverb, when is a conjunction, you is a pronoun, and visit is a verb. Boy, that one was a toughie, wasn't it? Okay, but that's all that we're going to do today for grammar. So now I want you to take out your Of Places book. That was a pretty exciting story that you read yesterday, wasn't it? Up to Repel Borders. For two guys that were thinking that not much happens anymore, to be attacked by two other men was kind of an exciting story. Well, today I want you to turn to page 337. This is a very long poem by the writer Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And this was before the days of modern navigational instruments and weather tracking equipment. There were lots of ships that were lost each year in the seas that would have very treacherous storms that would come up. And so Longfellow tells this. It's a fictitious tale, which means it's not true. Like what we read about the voyage of the Titanic, that one was a true story. This is a fictitious poem, but he tells this story of one of these doomed ships in this poem, The Wreck of the Hesperus. And as you read this, I want you to think about, what do you think the theme of this story is? What do you think the theme, what do you think that the writer was trying to get across by even writing this poem? So this is The Wreck of the Hesperus. And I want you to read it. It's on page 337. It goes to 339. And then I want you to answer the questions, think it through on page 339. See what you can do with that. And we'll look some more at this tomorrow because it is kind of worded a little bit differently than what we normally do. So I want you to read pages 337 through 339, and then I want you to do the think it through on page 339. Okay, so we have done the grammar for today. You need to work on doing your 5 vocabulary words, 6 through 10, copying those and the definitions 3 times. I want you to read the poem, The Wreck of the Hesperus, and do the think it through. If you had any trouble with the grammar today, look back at the part where you had difficulty in those blue pages. It will tell you what each of those are. So if you're reading in the Island of the Blue Dolphins, continue reading. In the next video, I'll be reading the next couple of chapters, starting with chapter 17. So I hope you have a great day. Can you believe it's already the middle of the week? So even though we're staying at home, time still seems to be passing pretty quickly. So I hope you have a great day, and I will talk with you tomorrow.